Stephen was one of the guys who was anointed after the disciples. When the disciples realized that they were growing and the disciples were serving and they're handling all the plates and everything, they're like, okay, we can't. We have to give ourselves to the training of the word. We have to do the work of the ministry. We need some help. We need some people who are going to help us with some of the feeding of these widows and the poor and the collect. We just need some help. So they had to find the guys who did the miracles, who were full of God's Spirit. It says, Stephen, a man full of God's grace and power, performing many miracles and signs among the people, was one of the guys chosen to serve. There's that inversion we live in. We see a guy or a gal who's full of the Holy Spirit. They're doing miracles and they're getting people saved and they're full of God's grace and power, and we want to give them a private jet and a book deal. And in the kingdom, he was promoted to cleaning up the tables. He was promoted to cleaning up the tables. Why? Because the path to greatness always goes through the servants' quarters. Jesus didn't hold his meeting in the lower room, in the grand dining room of that man. He went to the upper room, got low, and served and washed his people before he died for them. His last 48 hours were not downstairs on the Roman reclining couches under the good oil and the good lambs and getting it twisted. He was upstairs where he was in an apron washing some grubby dude's feet, one of which was about to betray him, and all of which he was about to die for. And he was never more godly. He was never more sovereign. He was never more full of power and authority to speak into their lives. Why? It was after he got on his knees and washed his feet that he was able to look at Peter and say, the devil asked for you, but I prayed for you, that you would not be sifted like wheat. Authority comes through service. Why? Because authority is an act of love, and God can trust those people that are willing to love his people.
That's right.
Love is the authority. And if you're not willing to serve his people, he can't trust you to lead them.